lemon, ginger, tea.
Hello, lovely lemons. Oh my gosh, you guys. It is the day. On Sunday, we did this live, and now I'm excited to give you like a cohesive YouTube video tour of my vampire island. Yes, I'm pumped. I'm trying to make my character look like she's pumped while I'm also pumped in real life and do the two things at the one time. So guys, I'm going to show you the whole island, the whole reason behind every build, and some of them I did builds with you here on YouTube. Make sure you follow me on Twitch because I do a lot of decorating live on stream. And then some, especially interiors, were done just kind of, way too late at night, because what do you do when you can't sleep? You play Animal Crossing. You don't try to sleep. You just stay up till 4 a.m. playing Animal Crossing. Isn't that what you do? So anyways, I'm excited to show you this whole island. Make sure that if you want to see more stuff live, we spend a lot of time on Twitch, Friday nights and Sunday afternoons. I live in Eastern Standard Time, so it's 9 p.m. on Fridays and 1 p.m. on Sundays for those of you that are exact. But yes, so let's get started, shall we? I started the dream address at the sunset. So if you want to come to Applemagic, you gotta come, and walk around the island and try to see if you can get done before the sun goes down, because when the sun goes down, this vampire might come out and she might get you, and she might want to hunt you, bite you or something. I don't know. Might want to come when there's still some daylight. Up to you, though, if you want to risk it, So I'm going to go in not the same normal order that you would go in Island Tour, because I want to tell you the story for everything. So that's why I'm starting by this apple tree. This is like kind of my now famous / infamous apple tree. I just wanted to make a giant apple tree because I thought that the giant trees were cool. I hadn't seen anyone do it with an apple tree before, and I liked the whole star fragment thing because it kind of like lit it up. Well, after I built it, it became into this whole vampire story thing. So what it is it's an evil apple tree. It is cursed. And Ginger Tea, my rep here, she just traveled to a new island because she just, was discovering things. She came on a boat. Maybe she even came on Captain's boat, but we're not sure because this is all covered up now. She came through the pier. She was just kind of sailing, and she happened upon this apple tree that was here, and she was like tempted to eat one of these apples. She was tempted by like this snake fossil dead thing kind of whispering at her. You get it? It's kind of like the Garden of Eden, kind of the forbidden fruit kind of thing. So she was convinced by this like thing that looks dead, but it's still got some kind of enchantment or curse on it, because it was like whispering at her to like eat that apple. So she ate one, and when she ate that apple, that's what started the vampire curse. So she became addicted to eating these cursed apples, and that's what kind of makes her bloodthirsty and kind of turned her into a vampire and gave her like all of these special vampire abilities, like super strength and like running really like superhumanly fast and being able to compel people and stuff like that. So she's addicted to these apples. She keeps coming back to this apple tree to eat the cursed apples, and when she does, she kind of goes on like a bender, and she'll like go and like hunt the villagers and like attack them, but then like the next morning she'll wake up and she won't remember what she did. So that is what it is. I don't know if that's a little it's gonna be a dark story, so you guys know. There's just a lot of darkness behind this story. I got kind of deep. It kind of was all on accident. But that's how it starts, is that she eats the forbidden, cursed apple. She becomes addicted to them, and they make her have these vampire like bloodthirsty kind of crazes, and she goes and she hunts the villagers and things. So excuse me, I will take you on to some of the other areas, because when she became a bloodthirsty vampire, she wanted to make the island very like inviting for the villagers and things. Okay, and now here I'm going to take you to the entrance. Please don't mind my yellow airport. This is actually, I've never restarted my island, by the way, you guys. This is like the third version of Applemagic. And here is my lovely flag for the vampire Applemagic Island. And my friend Nisi, I'll put their Instagram down below. My friend Glow and Nisi, they share like an Animal Crossing account on Instagram. And Nisi makes designs, and she's so good at them. And she made a lot of designs for me for this island. So thank you so much, Nisi. And isn't that little Applemagic flaggy so cute? So there's my little flag. And when you enter the island, you see, something kind of blue off to the left, but you're not sure why, because the rest of the theme is red. And you see dollies, because she's a vampire, and when she comes into these like vampire like crazes, she also becomes very childlike, and she like wants to play with dollies, and she like kind of leaves them all over the place when she like forgets, because she went on a hunting attack craze, but she was carrying around her dolly and she like left them somewhere. So I'm trying to find like the right, yeah. She's like mischievous, but then she's also like a hot mess. So she tried to like make the island look pretty and everything so that people would want to come live here and think it's so nice and so elegant. But she's also kind of like a hot mess, and you see kind of like her spooky things and her mistakes throughout the island. So, and we've got scorpions just because it's actually kind of infested with evil cursed beings all throughout. So we have dollies left, we have scorpions, we've got all kinds of poison and curses. The wolf as well, just kind of spooky, evil things all throughout, even though it's very, very pretty. So, we're going to, and the skeletons, yes, the skeletons, of course. This entrance was so much fun. The jail bars are like some of my favorite items. It's maybe my favorite item ever in the game, so there's jail bars like all over the island too, just to kind of give it like the spooky feel, So that's the entrance, and then the whole rest of the island in general is supposed to be like, oh, very pretty castle area, very pretty little garden area. And why wouldn't I want to sit here? And why wouldn't I want to come and have a snack here? And all of that. So, but the thing is, it's set in winter. And it's set in winter because it's supposed to be cold because of the curse. And so it's supposed to be like, well, I live in this beautiful island, so why am I so cold and freezing? And then when the vampire attacks the villagers, they don't feel well after, but they don't know why. They're kind of gaslit. They're kind of enchanted. And I did make that song called Gaslit for this reason. Like, you can see her mistakes. She did remember to bury one, but a lot she didn't remember to bury some past villagers that became victims. And there's some, evil fossils just kind of maybe whispering evil things to you as you're around. Now, Poppy's paradise is right here. And Poppy is like Ginger Tea's love interest. Because, she's my favorite villager, and I tried to get her for so long. So in this storyline, Poppy became Ginger Tea's like love interest, and Ginger Tea is my rep's name, so, And so Ginger Tea did not want to hurt Poppy. She's like kind of okay with like hunting the other villagers and stuff like that, and maybe kind of like manipulating them and stuff, but she really honestly cares about Poppy. So she built her a paradise on the beach, and she put her far away in her own happy light colored castle. That's why Poppy is the only one that has the light gray castle items, and it's dark gray everywhere else. So Poppy has her own little paradise kind of far away from all of the evils of the island. And Poppy also has some white enchanted protection magic all over her area. So the the acorn lamps and the lily of the valleys, those are all like white good protection magic, kind of protecting her whole area. You have them up there too. So I love Poppy's castle. It was so much fun to build this, and her whole library area that I have over here. And I also did her interior, which I'm going to show you. Okay, here is Poppy's beautiful, beautiful room. Well, I like it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. I hope you like it. I wanted to give her some of the stuff she originally had, but then kind of just like spruce it up a little bit. So I'm obsessed with those window stickers. I did do a whole tutorial video of them with all the creator codes and stuff. So check that out if you're interested. But my little Poppy baby, I hope you think I did her right. You know, she's got all the little things she needs, the kitchen, the couch, the workbench so that she can still craft items and stuff. So I love you, Poppy. And she's dusting. She's such a sweet little tidy little squirrel. So I'm gonna go out of here. I'll show you a little bit of the rest of her castle, and her castle. Yeah, it is a castle. And she also kind of like guards the campsite. So here is this. Oh, it got dark. So her campsite, well, she has her little library area, and there is a nuptial ring pillow here because Ginger Tea once proposed to Poppy, and Poppy did not have an answer. She said, let me think about it because you've got some problems, and I'm not sure if I want to commit to someone with such issues as you, Vampire Ginger Tea. So Ginger Tea is kind of left in limbo at the point of the release of this dream address. And she has a little romantic area that they went on a date. She's got her photo just because why wouldn't you put her photo? Oh, I didn't mean to click on it, but she's a Leo, August 5th. It's all about positive thinking. See, she's so inspiring. And here's the campsite. Poppy also kind of guards the campsite if anyone comes into the island by boat, or even if they come in through the airport. Poppy tries, because Poppy's right by the entrance, she kind of tries to like intercept whoever might be coming to the island, kind of give them some of the like basic things they need, and give them a little camping tent area. And then she tries to send them off on their way before they get discovered by the vampire and possibly captured, possibly hunted, possibly tortured. So that's the campsite. It's all just I just kind of did like, you know, simple white. I wanted it to look happy and bright. Got my mush lamps going on and my dropped star fragments and the white lily of the valleys, the white roses, and then this Poppy's Paradise. You saw it on the sign too, and on that cushion. That is another design from my friend Nisi, so I love it so much. So that's Poppy's Castle. That is one of the brighter, happier areas of the island. Now we're going to go back down that area that kind of I zipped past, because the other bright, happy area on the island is the witch. And the witch of this island, she is the reason behind the white, enchanted, like happy, safe magic. So you'll see kind of some, whenever you see like white, glowy things, that's because the witch, Suhani is her name. She enchanted things, blue and white. Blue is kind of her homeland's color, and white is just like good, happy magic. And she enchants some things to have like protection spells to kind of, you know, keep the vampire from being able to like attack or like go into those areas. So her beach is, she lives on the beach also because she wants to be far away from the vampire. The vampire Ginger Tea did capture her from a far off land. She went swimming, searching for a witch to steal spells from. And when she found this witch, she was like a new witch and she didn't really know what she was doing, so she couldn't protect herself. And so Ginger Tea captured her and brought her to her island and has her under a compulsion to make different spells for her, which I will further explain. But her beach, as you can see, is like she's got the Zen style stone because she was holding on to her pet turtle we think it was a turtle when she was captured, but then when they got here, the turtle, her pet, could not live because there's just too much cursed black magic on the island. So she had to bury her poor little pet turtle. And she's got some bamboo grass and lots of other blue things and lots of other sort of ambiguously Asian things because she's from a faraway land, but we're not sure where exactly. And that's also why she has one of the Zen style houses. And we'll come in here, and her interiors also have like some reasoning to them. And also, this house is probably my favorite interiors I've ever done. So there's two others that you'll see, but I'm going to show you this one first. This is like her magic potion making room, and here it appears as if she is making some spells for the vampire, right? She looks like she's cooking up some spells, maybe making something with that butterfly for the vampire. Maybe some potions on the shelves there, and maybe growing some magical flowers or something. But really what's happening is the witch is compelled. She's under a compulsion spell or compulsion ability from the vampire, but she's still sort of like aware of what's going on and sort of able to kind of think for herself still. So in secret, you see the blue bottles. She's kind of starting to make some spells to actually go against the cursed vampire compulsion and kind of restore good magic. And so the rest of her house is kind of like all full of like good magic and enchantments that she did so that she can maybe get back home and maybe cook up some more good spells to fight the evil on the island. So in this room is her bathroom, and it's looking out onto the stars. And she just does some very simple living in her house here. And she likes to, just look out at the stars and have a relaxing little bath. She enchanted it to look out onto the night sky because it's not really safe to go outside, And I really was in love with the cosmos showers. So I did actually 2 of them on either side, and I was really in love with all of the glowing things. Like I have the star garland on the wall underneath the, what do you call it, the party lights arch, so that it looked like there was like double lights because I wanted lots of lights. And I finally remembered to use the Happy Home Paradise shine technique. So this is the sparkly room because the stars are sparkling as well. So that's her bathroom. I had a lot of fun with that one. That was one of the late night builds, middle of the night. So we're going to go into this room, another enchanted room. Some of them don't have like a bunch of meaning behind them, but some do. It's a little bit of both. She just enchanted this room to look out onto her garden and to think about what home used to be like and how to maybe further have the ability to get back home. I made like the flowing river flooring with the koi model and the Ranchu goldfish model to look like they were swimming with the seaweed and the mushrooms. I've seen other people like use actual koi fish designs, like custom designs on the ground. I did not think of that idea until after I made this dream address, but I really, really, really like it. And I had a lot of fun with this room. The Misty Garden wall and the balcony and the glow-in-the-dark stickers. And I just, it's simple and I love it. I think this is maybe my favorite room ever. It's super, super fun. And cherry blossom branches, you gotta love those. So she just sits out there and she looks onto the garden and she is homesick. It's kind of sad. She just looks out there and thinks about how she misses home. And I realize now, if you come to the DA, you'll see the witch character. Her name, now, this is my first island, and I wasn't planning on doing all of these characters until, pretty late into building the island. So in game, the name is Mrs. Apple, because originally it was like a one-room schoolhouse with a teacher, but her name is actually Suhani, okay? And she looks like that with the gray-blue kind of hair. And we'll go into this room over here. And in this room, there's a cave. She's trying to kind of enchant things and maybe make portals and just experiment with ways to go back home. So in this cave with the glowing moss like cave wall behind it as well, it's perhaps she has made a portal and is able to use it to get back home. But she's still kind of like I said, she's a new witch. She's not experienced, so it doesn't work yet. She doesn't know if she's going to be able to make it work or not. But she made a cave. She made a cave portal, I guess. All right, and now we're going to go to the upstairs. This is her garden, you guys. What do you think? In her garden, it's got the shine technique of the dripping, and it's because it's full of life, and she's enchanted everything to just be like happy and alive and growing and thriving. And she comes into her garden here to have some tea and to look out onto the trees. This is actually like a tree house kind of garden. I used that the rope net wall and rope net flooring, and then I used the rope net wall as an accent wall, and then I used the regular wall to be this brick custom design, and then I put the same custom design as tile mats to make it sectioned off, and then I did the safety railings to kind of section it off to look like you were actually walking in a treehouse. So it's like she's kind of walking up amongst the trees and then looks out onto the trees. And then she's got this whole kind of garden that kind of grows around it. So I had a lot of fun with this room. It kind of speaks for itself. It's just plants, and it was just supposed to be symmetrical and pretty. But I had a lot of fun with it. So much fun. We'll go to the basement now. All right, so this is her bedroom. It's kind of her whole living space, really, because upstairs it's supposed to just look like she's working on spells and stuff. So she's got her whole little kitchen area, her whole little studio, and her bed, and she enchanted this wall to look out onto the sea because she's, again, homesick, thinking about ways to get home. She's got lots of books because she's reading her spells and practicing up on her magic. She reads her tarot cards. She has cute little plushies. And she's got all these imperial lanterns, all the sort of ambiguously Asian sorts of items. I had a lot of fun. I really love the Asian items, but I never know how to do them. So I was like, I'm going to make her like sort of ambiguous and kind of just use a little bit of everything and see if I can make it work for me. So yeah, this is her room. I'll go kind of in the middle so you can see everything. I had a lot of fun with the the Imperial lanterns and all the different colors of them. And I had a lot of fun with the kitchen area. And I don't know, I had fun with the whole room, really. I built this on stream pretty recently. This is one of the last things that I did. All right, so we're going to come back out. That is Suhani's house. Oh gosh, I had so much fun, especially making the interiors that are not realistic looking. Oh, I had so much fun with that house. I hope you guys liked it. Okay, now I've passed over this area a few times. I'm going to explain what it is now. So you see, we've got a Grand Atlas moth model below. And that is really just to make it look like for a photo, look like you have wings. That was just me trying to be cute, and because I really love that butterfly model. And then the centerpiece is the butterflies in the cage, the monarch butterflies. Now, there's a whole complicated explanation to this. The first part of the explanation is one of my friends makes custom designs on Instagram, and she made these caged butterfly dress designs. And when I saw this dress design, I was like, OMG. And I will link her, I will link her in the description. Her Instagram is ACNHMinthy, and I'll put the link in the description. But oh my gosh, isn't this so freaking cool and creative and beautiful? And she actually made it in many different colors. There's like a really bright blue one that one of my friends wears, and that one is super cool. Like the blue is so bright it almost looks like it glows in the dark. It's super, super pretty. There's like, see, they're even on the back and everything. So anyways, I was super inspired by that, and I was like, what if I actually cage butterflies like actually in Animal Crossing and use the jail bars, because y'all know jail bars are like my favorite item. So I wanted to cage all monarch butterflies because I thought they looked the best with my island. And then I came up with, sometimes it's like, or oftentimes, it's like I come up with a story after I do the build, because it's like I want to have a reason for it. So I caged the monarch butterflies, and then one of my friends, Ricky, suggested that perhaps they're caged because of a spell. And the spell is that if the vampire eats a monarch butterfly, she gets to look younger and look more human and appear more normal and better off than she actually is. So it's like a mischievous kind of thing. This reaction is like pretty much the whole island is mischief reaction. So that's kind of the reason for the spell, and she forces the witch, Suhani, to make this spell for her and to capture the butterflies. But then, as you can see, Suhani put some of the white glowy items all around, so it's sort of a protection. It's sort of trying to defy the evilness of that spell and maybe overcome it, perhaps. So I'm also going to go this way again, finally. You know, I will really quick show you my Ables. So Ables is just kind of elegant, spooky. If you go into my Ables, you'll see the custom design display from Minthy. I'm going to leave it up to you guys if you want to go to the Dream Address to check all those out. I am always wearing one. She made me a full Ables display, and it's super, super cool. But I'll show you. They're all kind of here. I've been wearing a lot of them. I've been wearing a lot of them all the time. So that one's cute. They're really all cute. I'm changing between them quite a bit. So the rest of the island is just kind of, it's made to look elegant, it's made to look spooky, it's made to look like, oh, this is so pretty, but like also there's something amiss here. So Ables is just elegant, spooky Ables. And if you come over here, we've got your garden, which I already took you through, but we're gonna go past the garden now. And we've got also nooks, and now maybe the island buildings, I think possibly, are really just hallucinations made by another spell or the compulsion of the vampire. Like, maybe when you walk into nooks, you're not really there. Maybe you're just kind of imagining it, because it's supposed to like just be there to like look like it's a normal place with a normal store, and it's all happy with the balloons and stuff. But actually there's a lot of death happening, so I'm not sure about that. And then we have, you know, another fountain area. It's supposed to be so beautiful, but then we've got the skeletons and the bats on the flags and all that. So it's like, come sit by the fountain with me. There's no skeletons over here. What are you talking about? I just went to the store and bought a balloon. It's just a normal place. Look, someone rode their bike here. Very happy island. That's right, indeed. But actually not. And when you come here through this little land bridge area, here is the second of the castles, second of the 3 castles. So Poppy's probably got the smallest castle. This is probably the middle-sized one. And this is the mad scientist slash doctor's house. Now, again, I have never restarted my island, so it's originally just the account that I made for my husband. So it's named Edu, but that's not actually who it is. It's actually you don't call him anything except for the mad scientist or the mad doctor. It really should be a doctor, not a scientist. I don't know why I keep saying both. Well, he's kind of both. And if you see him walking around on the dream address, he's wearing a top hat and a gas mask. So let's go into his little hospital here. So in his hospital waiting room, it appears mostly normal, except for there's some cockroaches and some blood on the floor. So here's my little hospital waiting room. I did this because I was doing it on Happy Home Paradise and I completely lost motivation. And then I was like, but let me make like a spooky one that has an actual purpose. So he has a waiting room. And if you come in here, there's some various rooms. Like one of the visitors' rooms looks like this. And this is a single stay room. And it's a single stay room because someone was staying here for kind of an extended period of time. Someone had to celebrate their birthday here. And Ginger T must have visited because there's a dolly left there. There's also, however, like some cobwebs on the wall and everything. So we're not entirely sure what's going on here. But I think that someone had an extended stay. And I don't think that that was a good thing. And if you come, I'll go to the side first and I'll go to the back last. Actually, I'm going to go to the back room, the last of the whole house, because you just got to save that one for the end. When you come in here, this is the mad doctor's bedroom, and he's been kind of enchanted and he's been compelled, oh my gosh, I cannot speak. He's been compelled to like kind of also forget about modern technology. So he lives like with the retro TV. He only uses like a calligraphy pen and a typewriter and stuff, and it's all old-timey looking because she wanted him to be enchanted to like not understand how to use modern communication because she wanted to keep him from communicating with the outside world, and she didn't want anyone to talk to him and find out all of the bad stuff he's been doing in here. So he kind of lives like 100 years behind times. And if we go upstairs, here is kind of the more generic, shorter stay room. And when the villagers stay here, or anyone who comes to the island really, when anyone comes to stay here, they're kind of made to like be confused and think that they're staying in like a cool playroom with their friends and stuff. But actually what's happening is some spooky stuff is being done to them. Like the robot arm might be doing some experiments or something. And the IV drip like constantly kind of takes their blood because, you know, the mad doctor takes their blood and feeds it to the vampire so that she can feed on them without accidentally killing them. So it's better for her to like drink out of the blood bags, which is very, very, very much inspired by the Vampire Diaries show, by the way. But she feeds out of the blood bags more often than actually hunting, because if she actually hunts them, then she ends up going too far and accidentally killing them all the time. So they are like tricked into thinking they need to come stay at the hospital, and then they're kind of like worked on and stuff and have their blood taken, but they're kind of like gaslit about it the whole time. And in the basement, I show you that this is his lab. He's got, you know, he might bring you down here and he might sit you down in his torture chair, and he's really, really sick-minded because he likes to videotape it too and then watch them back. Ooh. Oh, important thing to note though is that before Ginger Tea like kind of got a hold of him, he was like a regular doctor and like really enjoyed helping people. So he's just torturing them now because like he doesn't know any better and it's because of the compulsion. So he can't help it, but he was good before. He does experiments on them. He is studying the plushies to see if he can further enchant the villagers and make them attracted to them and stuff like that, to lure them in as prey and bait and stuff. So yeah, there's his lab. I had a lot of fun with this one too, like with the ceiling spotlights and that big the big lecture hall chalkboard thing. I love that item, and the science pod. I love the science pod item so much, especially in red, but they look cool in all of the colors really. Okay, and now we're going to go to the worst room, and if you come and you're called down to the doctor's office, this is where you go. You go to the doctor's office exam room / kitchen. Yup, that's right. This is where they do all the work. Yikes, my guys. You're going to have some robot arm picking at you. You're going to have a chainsaw going. You're going to have, some blood splatters. Yep, I did go there. And I did go go to the winnowing machine. And yes, it is going to do what you think it's going to do. And yes, the freezer has what you think it has in it. And yes, the stew has what you think it has in it. And yes, that went into the potion. And yes, the packaged containers of food are also what you think they are. And Chops' poster had no better place to be than in this room. So, yeah, it got real dark, didn't it? But also, like, don't take it too serious. It's just Animal Crossing, guys. But yeah, it got real dark. This is a torture room. Okay, bye-bye, torture room. Let's come out of the horror hospital, shall we? And coming back through this land bridge, there's no way to go past that, so you have to come back out this way. And now we're going to go into some of my favorite parts of the island. We're finally making it past the front. So this way here is the merry-go-round, but it's overgrown. Why? This is because it was originally supposed to like attract the villagers and be like, oh, look, come here. It's a fun place. We're starting to build a carnival. But then you'll see why they never come out to actually enjoy a carnival. And it ended up just getting overgrown with the vampires' poisonous apples, cursed apples, whatever you want to call them, and her dollies and her magic fake butterflies. She's got do not eat these. You saw that by the giant apple tree too, right? That's another Nisi design, you guys. And, she tries to enchant the villagers and be like, hey, come eat some snacks with me. Because I think she's trying to get people to, like, eat the poisonous cursed apples with her so that she's not, like, alone in her, like, addiction. Because, like, she's not, like, in this world, in this universe, you don't become a vampire irreversibly. You get vampire tendencies if you eat the cursed apples. So she's trying, and then you become addicted to them. So she is trying to get other people to eat them with her so that she's not the she's not the only one. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I can't talk. So that she's not the only one that has this, like, cursed apple addiction problem. So maybe there's some apples in these cookies, and maybe there's some blood, and maybe there's a little bit of both. That's not good. Do not eat these. It is all a ruse to suck you in. And we go back here, and here we have another Nisi design for the sign saying, "These are my jailed prey." Now, this is also complicated because it's got, it's battle of good and evil magic all throughout this island. So what happened was Ginger Tea originally jailed in all of the villagers, and she wants to keep them here so that it's easiest to feed off of them, to find them and get them to the hospital for the mad doctor. And I had so much fun customizing. It was so satisfying to customize these houses to all look the same. By the way, I kind of botched the end of Happy Home Paradise so that I could do this. I didn't really fully give it my all. I did some opening and running away, I'll be honest. But yes, so they're all jailed in. However, what has happened is Suhani the witch is the one who enchanted the jail bars to go in front and not be able to be moved. And now Ginger Tea and the Mad Doctor cannot get to them either. So they are actually being protected for now. It's still not a great situation because they are stuck in there with a bunch of like corpses and skeletons and stuff, but they are at least safe from further torture at this time. So coming over here, we have two interesting areas. One is the graveyard, and the graveyard is just a straight mess. And in that Gaslit song I did, it said that this beautiful island certainly has no graveyard. So it's like, yeah, no, this isn't even here. It's not like I like lay in this coffin and jump out and get you or anything. It's not like I kind of stopped trying to bury my prey and just started leaving the skeletons all around. It's not like that happened or anything. It's not even really here. What graveyard are you even talking about? Yeah, it's a straight mess. She completely gave up at that point. And this is the Dolly sacrifice area. I'm so in love with this area. Oh my goodness, it was so much fun to make. I looked up a picture of a cathedral actually and tried to copy it with the wedding items and stuff. And I later added the moon because I decided that this moon and this forbidden altar are like enchanted, and she does this sacrifice and reads this spell that she stole from the witch. And when she reads the spell and she does the sacrifice on the dollies, what happens is it makes the villagers kind of makes them like attracted to the humming sound of the moon. And it makes them want to come play with these dollies, and it ends up drawing them, closer to the castle. And the castle that we're about to go in is Ginger Tea's castle. So there's the dolly sacrifice area. I think it's like spooky, but like I'm also trying to be funny. So I hope you guys get it. And here we come up on the castle. And this is now sort of the famous / infamous castle, and the apple tree too kind of blew up on social media a little bit there. So if you're watching this because you found me through those two photos, OMG, thank you. But yes, so this is the castle. This is the castle that, oh my gosh, it's been through so many different versions. I originally made it with the wedding organs, like before the update, and then I changed it to the castle items when I finally could get my greedy little paws on them. So there's a whole lookout spot, because this is actually not even the whole thing. You can see it better from far away from the gazebo spot that I made, but that's kind of like on the way out. So we're going to go in and see my interiors now. And this is the third house, and this is the biggest castle, and this is my house. So this is just my living room. It's red, it's spooky. I left some things on the ground. I made another shrine to my dollies, and I invite you over for some coffee and some snacks. Do you want to come in? I've got some of my butterflies, and I've also got some wasps. Maybe they're gonna sting you and stun you and startle you or something. I don't know what they're gonna do. And we're just, got a spooky living room going on, but also some coffee and some flowers. And I am, you guys, again with the jail bars. And I did that just because the living room is awkward with like those doorways right there, and it made sense to me. And I'm obsessed with the chandeliers and the draperies. OMG, love them so much. So we're gonna go into all my rooms. If I can get there. There we are. This is I had to do a room, you guys. I had to do a room with the magic circle and the candle wall. So if you didn't know, the magic circle flooring paired with the candlelight wall, if you put those together in a room and you turn the lights off, then it will do that magic little thing when you walk into the room. Isn't that so fun? So this is my fancy golden bathroom where I'm having a very elegant, very royal sort of vampire bath. Getting squeaky clean so that I look like a normal human, even though I'm really not. Washing the blood off, you know. So that room was really fun. And now we'll go to the kitchen. Kitchen for me always is in the back room, technically, actually, typically. The other two houses on my island don't have kitchens, but in any normal house, the kitchen for me will be back here. Now, the kitchen is not red. Why is the kitchen not red? You ask, or didn't you? Well, I'm gonna tell you anyways. It's because this is where she took spells from the witch, and all of the witch's stuff is blue. And unbeknownst to ginger tea, because do you see how it makes a purple glow? It's because ginger tea has the red lights in her house, but everything in this room is blue, so it kind of makes that purple to it. And oh my gosh, I had so much fun with this blue room, OMG. And so she stole spells from the witch, but she doesn't know that the witch actually gave her good magic, and it's supposed to help her like not be so crazed and bloodthirsty. But she doesn't know that. She thinks that it's doing the opposite thing. She thinks that it's helping her to do more evil and to get more apples. So there's like the apple on the counter because she was having one, but then there's also the blue feather, and that's some kind of enchantment, and the festival lamps is some kind of enchantment to kind of help fight against or minimize the effects of the apple craze. We just crazy for apples here on Applemagic. Them good, evil, cursed apples. Just gotta have more. Oh my goodness. I took it too far, but I had so much fun doing it, guys. I know it's a little bit overly over the top, but that's just my personality, you know? So here's her study. She's studying how to keep the island beautiful. She's studying how to maybe get some more spells and some more youth and normal human appearance from some other different kinds of butterflies. She's got the starry wall and the window panels because, you know, she's kind of nocturnal. And that's pretty much her study, you guys. I had to use, in the real houses, you know, I have to use the museum posters and stuff. And some of the Happy Home Paradise stuff that I got, like those candles and that poster and everything. And Poppy's photo, of course. We shall now go upstairs. In the upstairs, we have my room, my bedroom. You've probably seen it a lot before, I think. But this is one of the first rooms that I did in the whole island, in the whole everything of this island. And I just wanted it to look like an elegant, spooky vampire room. I had done a couple at Harv's Island before and really, really liked them. But then this is kind of like my final version of all of those ideas that I had put together. So it's just elegant, spooky vampire. I was obsessed with all of the different chandeliers, and I wanted like red and black, and I wanted it to look kind of industrial. And I feel like that old stone flooring and the black brick wall really make things look like industrial, but then the wedding wall kind of made it look like elegant and pretty at the same time with the flowers and stuff on the wall. So yeah, this is my room. I had a lot of fun with that. We'll go to the basement. All right, in the basement, she has brought some of her butterflies back so that she can keep them here and use them for their enchanting magic, more frequently. She also has some leftover skeleton prey here, and she has them trapped in here. She comes down to bask in their beauty, and she comes out looking more like a normal human, more like she wasn't on an apple bloodthirst bender last night. It's all about covering it up. It's all about looking normal. Everything is not what it seems. It's all an illusion. And I loved the shine technique here from Happy Home Paradise. It's so cool, and usually it looks so pretty, these flutters, but I feel like here it looks so spooky, and I am just vibing with it so hard. So that is our vampire house. We've got a couple more areas on the island, and then I'm going to share with you how the vampire story ends. Okay, couple more areas to see coming out the castle. We're going to go back around the left side of the island, and then we're going to revisit the beaches to kind of talk about some story plot. So Ginger Tea has a little garden of dead flowers and things, and part of the gaslighting is it's a beautiful flower shop. What do you mean you smell something? That's not a corpse flower. It doesn't stink at all. What are you talking about? And I love plant shops, and I just wanted to build one also, so not too much of a reason for that. I love the floral display case item. Oh my gosh, and the way it lights up, it's so, so pretty. And I love the bug toys, the centipede and the cockroach toys. Oh my gosh. And Ginger Tea leaves, especially when you get closer to her castle. I tried to make it more and more skeletons as you were nearing her area. And that's what we see coming along this little pathway here. And I just like the red balloons because it's supposed to look like, oh, happy kind of place, but actually spooky. And here, not too much of a reason for this area, just that Ginger Tea is a charming vampire, and she impresses all of her guests by playing them all of these instruments and singing for them and just making them feel like so special that she would like put on a concert just for you, stuff like that. And so there's my concert area, and also IRL, I'm a music teacher, so I always have to have the musical instruments on my island, you guys. And also, it's supposed to be like an amphitheater. I don't know if you guys kind of get that. Like the way that I terraformed it to be like down on the first level with like all the cliffs above. It's supposed to be like an amphitheater. So it's supposed to have good acoustics. Okay, guys. Hopefully it has good acoustics. And then we're going to come to, oh my gosh, probably my favorite spot. And I think this is the last for me to show you on the actual island before we go on the beaches again. Here's my gazebo area, you guys. This is also one of the first things I built. I was like, I'm going to build a castle, but also we're going to have an outlook to the castle. Now, if you come a little bit earlier, you'll be able to see the castle like in full detail with the sunlight. It's a little dark on the island right now, so you can really only see it looming as a great shadow in the distance. But I love my castle so much. It's so epic. Man, it's gonna be hard to take down. But it is what it is, you know? And so, yeah, you can come on the gazebo. Ginger Tea may take you on a romantic little date on this gazebo. She may have you lay upon the rose bed with her, and you may feel just a little bit enchanted. Maybe this is where she would propose to Poppy. And then Poppy was like, IDK, what to say? Oh, you know what? How could I have forgotten my own museum? Oh, and you know what? One more plot point as well. LOL. Before the beaches, that is. The beaches are the best, the most important for the plot. There's poor Lucky. Maybe he's the one that was in that hospital because he's been bandaged up quite a bit. Poor Lucky. What did they do to you in that hospital? Not that the vampire cares. But okay, so here is, and I don't know if you guys have been following my channel here for a while. I did a rock garden build video here on YouTube, and OMG, I have changed the area, but the rocks themselves are in the same spot. All the waterscaping has slightly moved, and it was going to be a house here, and then it was going to be something else, and then it became the museum, and there was a bunch of other stuff, and then I changed it, and I changed it again. Oh, it took me forever to be happy with this area. But we have a walk with gyroids, and the reason we have a walk with gyroids is because the witch Suhani made friends with Brewster, and Brewster gave her the Brewstoid of him in order to like signify their friendship and their alliance and everything. And together Brewster and Suhani use the gyroids as like lookouts in order to see what's happening on the island and to spy on Ginger Tea and kind of know when it's safe to go out and not. So yeah, and building this rock garden was also super fun. And like I said, check out the other videos on my channel and you will see it. It should be in the playlist called something like speed builds, I think. So that's my museum. I'm gonna take you back down to the beach. Now, my island does not make sense for how you walk around it. It's not planned very well with the pathways and stuff. And that's just because I'm a scatterbrained mess and I don't really plan things. So hopefully you can take that as a consolation if you are also not really good at planning things. You can still make plenty of pretty things on your island and you don't have to, like, I don't know, plan it. I don't know. Or you can. It depends on what your preference is, really. So here we have this monster area. This one I built on stream. I kind of wish I made a YouTube video of it too, but it was a really fun time on stream building this. And the glowing moss items are like enchanted by the witch to look like blood bags, so that, I know that's so gross and weird and dark, but it's the story, and they're enchanted to look like that so that Ginger Tea like thinks that like that's the blood she's looking for, and she doesn't go any further to the apple tree because we're trying to keep her away from the apple tree, you know, so she doesn't keep up with her addiction. And also the monster is there, but Ginger Tea will sneak past him if he's sleeping. There's another monster over here by the pier, but she will also sneak past him if he's sleeping as well. So there's the apple tree that we saw at the beginning of the video. You guys know what that's all about. She's addicted to it. It kind of calls to her. She can't help it, or can she? But we're going to keep going down the beach this time. See, there's the other monster, but she sneaks past him a lot. So we're going to go down this beach, and in the witch's house and all along this beach, you'll notice the tacoids, and it's because the witch Suhani put a spell on the whole island. The whole island, really, and the tacoids are like the main gyroids that really help count this spell down. And there you'll see all the other clocks around because they are helping count down to make this spell happen. And what happens is it makes Ginger Tea have like a revelation. So there was this whole wishing well ritual that the witch did. There was a whole communicating with the gyroids and with Brucedoid and sneaking around, and they're all going tick-tock, tick-tock. And Ginger Tea notices this one day, and she follows them. She follows all the Talkoids, saying, like, what are these doing here? I did not put these here. And then she's confused by the glowy star fragments and how they're red, and she doesn't know what they are. And she comes and she sees these apples, but she realizes that they're fake. And then when the clock strikes midnight on this day, we don't know what day it is really. It doesn't even really matter. But when the clock strikes midnight and the spell comes into effect, just everything kind of explodes in Ginger Tea's mind. And it's really just a mental revelation. It's not really anything that happens on the island. It's like her realization. And why is the volcano not going off? I swear. There we go. And so the volcanoes it's not really about volcanoes erupting. It's more about her just having the realization. And she, like, all of a sudden comes completely clearly into, like, just how terrible she has been to everyone due to her apple addiction, and how much she has manipulated everyone, and how much she has just, like, kind of hurt everyone around her that cared for her and that was trying to help her. So she then decides that she is going to quit her addiction. She is going to be better, and she has an idea, and it's going to be really hard for her, you guys. It's going to be really hard for her, and she's going to do it, though. She is going to stay strong. OMG flex reaction. She's going to stay strong, you guys, and she's going to do it. What she does is she gets out her axe, and she goes to the apple tree, and she's going to chop it down once and for all, you guys. And so there's one more thing that happens after she chops it down too. But let's go and ceremoniously chop it down. I did also do it on stream, but we put the apple tree back. And now we are going to, this is like for real. This is for real because it's actually going to come down. And I'm going to tell you the last thing that happens. And I'm going to tell you what this means for Applemagic moving forward. I actually made this decision today, and it was like some hard thinking, and thank you to my friends that were like messaging with me and helping me. Oh my gosh. Messaging with me and helping me think about what to do and decide. So here we go. Ceremoniously chop. Wow, I'm really tripping over my words. And of course the rest are going to get chopped later, but it has begun, and she's going to leave the apples. She's not going to pick them up, and she's going to ask the witch Suhani to dispose of them for her and put a spell on them to get the curse off, get rid of the black magic once and for all. And after that happens, the vampire Ginger Tea and Suhani actually become friends, and Suhani forgives Ginger Tea for capturing her and continues to help her, and Ginger Tea is just forever thankful for her friendship. Now, what that means for the love story between Ginger Tea and Poppy, though, is that Ginger Tea is kind of just over the whole thing. She is ready to move on with her life. She's got too much. Is this the right reaction? She's got too much going on to deal with a romance right now. And she is just focusing on friendship and bettering herself. So it kind of sucks, and it's kind of sad, and she's kind of heartbroken about it. But it's okay because she has the support of her friend with her. And I'm trying to find good reactions as I talk. Oh my goodness. She has the support of her friends with her, and she's just taking a step back from anything more complicated than just friendship and focusing on taking care of her. So, next time you see my island, It's going to be full recovery ginger tea. It's going to be a bright, happy, oh, and when the curse gets broken, it also breaks winter. So we're going to finally move to spring. It's going to be a happy spring island. It's all going to be about self-care and friendship. And Poppy may or may not be around. So I guess stay tuned on that. Maybe Poppy will move out for a little while. Maybe she'll move back in later. We're going to have to wait and see what happens, you guys. All right, so thank you, seriously, thank you so much for joining me on this journey, watching my little tour. I hope that you guys liked my island. I hope you guys liked my silly little story. It was really fun to come up with little plot points as I was building or after I made a build and just thought about it too much. Yeah, thank you guys so much for all of the love, and maybe consider subscribing because we're going to be having a lot more builds, a lot more different like how-tos and hopefully inspiration for you guys. There will be more island tours of other people's lovely dream addresses as well. And yeah, I thank you so much, and I hope you have a lovely time zone, and I'll see ya in the next one. Bye-bye.